Hello there guys, Fengferth here, and I'm gonna bring you a quick channel update. But first, I wanted to talk about something that's hit the news recently. Firstly, let me just say that the game behind is League of Legends. I'm currently playing as Vega. It's an excellent champion to use, really fun to use, a glass cannon. Quite hard to use, but still fun. Anyways, I wanted to talk about the digital distribution services, stuff like Steam, Origin, good GLG, and also to an extent the PSN and Xbox Live arcade stores and stuff like that. Well, effectively, what was in the news recently is that EA games are eventually going to go 100% digital distribution. For those of you who don't know digital distribution, basically it's you buy a game, you download it, and you play it. That's as basic as you can get with digital distribution. Now, this poses a bit of a concern for me and many others. The problem with going 100% digital distribution is this. It basically forces you to have some kind of internet connection. Now, not everyone is lucky enough to have an internet connection. Be it maybe the area that they live in can't get a connection. Maybe their connection is rather bad. Maybe it keeps cutting out every 2 seconds, or maybe they've got really bad download speeds. And sometimes people just can't flat out afford them. And it's understandable. This day and age, in the UK, we're still going through a really bad recession, and so is most other places in the world. It's really hard to actually get the money to be able to afford anything when you're losing about thousands of jobs a day, but there's only tens being created. It's difficult. But the main problem with this is that people who rely on physical copies won't be able to get them soon. Bearing in mind, the EA game publishers have got a lot of games, stuff like Mass Effect and off the top of my head, Battlefield. Those are the ones off the top of my head. So you won't be able to get these on physical copies soon, which is a bit worrying to some. Like I said, because not everyone's got an internet connection, and it's also all to do with this DRM shit that's been going on for quite some time now. But this is the problem. They're going to be losing a lot of player base that have to rely on physical copies. And like I said, not everyone's going to be able to download the games anyway. They do take up quite a lot of space, and although it's been the norm with the PC. The problem is they're doing it with consoles as well. So you won't be able to buy your next Battlefield on the consoles, physical disc. You'll have to download it. You'll have to have an internet connection to actually download it. And again, that poses more problems. I mean, I can understand why they're doing it. I'll take both perspectives into account. A couple of reasons why they're doing it is to lower the packaging costs and shipping costs of having it physical. They're also doing it to prevent some types of piracy, and they're also doing it to prevent stuff like trade-ins. I'm personally, I'm not too bothered with the fact that they're using it to stop piracy. I can understand why they're doing it like that, but you can't really stop trade-ins as such. I know like stuff like Steam and Origin and good old games, and even Xbox Live and PSN. They are all account locked when you buy them. That's something I want to talk about a bit later as well. But the thing is, when you've got publishers, really bad publishers, by the way, EA Games was voted the worst company in America recently, and a close second was the Bank of America, which is rather ironic. But I mean, they publish some okay games and some not so great games, but they publish them as AAA titles, which means they're full price, they're full retail price, 40 quid, $60 in America, and everywhere else. And some of them just aren't worth it, and some of them people either want to try out, they either rent them out, they watch reviews on YouTube, let's plays, or the other thing they can do is buy it off other people who already own them, second hand. And a lot of games have been stopping that for quite some time now. Stuff like online passes and stuff like that. Even on single player games where there's an online pass, which is really bad customer service in a sense. But anyway, this is going to help publishers more than anything else. While it is okay for the consumer, since at the end of the day, it's quicker than getting a physical copy just to buy it and download it and play it. And you've also got it tied to an account, which means you can download it again and again and again on different computers if you need to. But obviously you can't have the same account at the same time. Where it's okay for that, you've still got the problem of other people that just... Internet is really funny at the moment, it's too soon to be doing 100% digital distribution. Like I said, not everyone's got instant access, and if they have, it's poor. It's terrible at the moment. EA have had a really bad reputation in the past few years of pissing the consumer off, and this is one of them points where it's taking it a little bit too far now. Why doing it soon? Why not do it further down the line when there's more stable connections, when people accept it more? There's still a lot of people that don't accept the digital distribution services because of, like I said, the DRM crap that comes with it. You have to be online all the time to play anything. You shouldn't have to, especially for single player games, you shouldn't have to do it. Obviously multiplayer games, that's completely different. Some games do allow LAN, but a lot of games don't these days. Not many games allow LAN, which is absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And a lot of people have started to accept free-to-play games as being DRM exclusives as well, because obviously you're not paying any money in to actually play the game, but if you want to, you can splash out a little bit if you wanted to. It's actually a decent design like that. But when you're paying full price for a game and you haven't got it in your hands, bearing in mind people do like physical copies in their hands, and you can only play it online. This is where people are gonna start fighting back and just not paying for these types of games. These types of services. I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Steam. I like it because obviously the fast download speed. I've had to restart my computer and laptop a few times, and it helps me get my games back very quickly, as an example. And and obviously I've got it there all in one package. I've only got to get Steam to play my games that I want to. Obviously I've still got to be connected to the internet, but it's handy for me. But not everyone's gonna see it like that. And it's completely understandable. It's completely understandable. So I can't understand why, in the love of God, they've announced it so soon. They should have just kept it quiet. But now, I will actually leave the link to this news feed. But if you look at the comments below, bloody hell, it's terrible. It really is terrible. No one is liking this idea, and I can't blame them at all. And another worrying thing that this is going to bring to the table is if all publishers decide to start doing this kind of design, consoles are going to be a little bit screwed in this sense, because they will no longer need a disc tray per se, because there will be no physical copies. But what they will need is a massive, gigantic amount of hard disk drive. So if the next generation consoles don't have any more than 10 terabytes, yeah. And I mean, it's already bad enough with the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 as it is, because they don't have really that big hard drives. And and there's a lot more games that are coming out solely on Xbox Arcade or the PSN store that you can't get a physical copy of, which means you have to install it into your hard drive, which means you've got not much memory left. You know, this is all things you need to take into consideration. It's the normal PC because, you know, you can upgrade your PC very easily, very cheaply with your hard disk drive. You know, a terabyte these days costs around about, what, 50 quid, something like that? I mean, it does still seem like a lot, but a terabyte will hold a hell of a lot. But this is another thing you have to take into consideration. How much is this new generation console going to cost? If that is the case, it's going to be expensive. And also in the case of the Xbox, the new Xbox, if they continue to use Xbox Live as a pay, well, at the moment you can either pay monthly, every 3 months or every year for gold membership. It's going to force this again, so that means you need to pay for your internet connection, you'll have to pay for your gold membership, and you'll have to pay for the game. And then all the other bullshit that comes with it, like the dislike content, or DLC, and all this other crap. You know, it's just ways to make money out of you. Okay, so enough a bit of ranting about that. And I want to discuss something else that was recently on the news, actually yesterday. Now, for Steam, it's actually really good news for Steam users, for, well, basically any digital distribution user. The Court of Justice of the European Union, the EU, recently ruled that publishers cannot stop you from reselling your downloaded games. This is pretty massive, because originally digital distributors would have the games actually locked to your account, which means you couldn't do nothing with it. It just you had to play it and no one else. But now that they've ruled this out, this now means you can effectively sell your games off. It's usually going to be to your mates or whatnot, but you can actually now start selling it off. Now, obviously, I mentioned this earlier on. One of the sole reasons why people want to go to digital distribution is to stop this from happening. Because, let me just explain it this way. I walk into, say, a game store, okay, and my mate is coming to the game store. We both want the same game. Let's just say Mass Effect 3, for example, right? So I walk in, and I want to buy a new copy. Let's just say I was a complete idiot and I wanted to help EA Games out. So I'd buy a new copy, and EA, the publishers and the game developers, would see that money. Now, my mate, he doesn't really quite know what it is, and he's not too sure whether to get it or not. He wants to try it out, so he asks for a used copy. Obviously, this is the cheaper option. The problem is the publishers and the game developers don't actually see that money. The only person that sees that money is the store. That's the reason why digital distributors seem very appealing to the publishers, because it stops that. However, now that this is just for the EU, though, I must mention. This is only for EU. There's nothing like this in America as of yet. But in the EU, they're now saying that when anything you download, the publishers can't stop you from reselling it on. Okay? Now, I'd just like to point out that places like Steam, and obviously all the other digital distributors, don't actually have the interface yet to be able to do this. And there's a very, very good chance that they'll try and not interpret it as long as they can. This is to stop, obviously, people from trying to do it like this. But it's going to happen eventually, and it's just something that will work for us consumers for once. So that's something else. And what will probably happen is you'll sell it to your mate, and they'll have the rights to it, and you won't have the rights to it no more. So your game will be locked off yours. That's how it's probably going to work. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? So, let me know what you think about all this, because I'm a bit infuriated as it is, especially with the digital distribution only kind of thing there. You shouldn't do that yet. It's too early. Not everyone's got an internet connection, and those that have, it just isn't reliable yet. You know, it's still all over the place. Even in America, it's still all over the place. Not everyone's still got a decent connection over there. And I can safely say most other places in the world don't even have an internet connection. They have to go on physical copies. So, anyway, that's my little rant over. What I wanted to talk about as well is what I want to do. I'm going to be doing on my channel this week. So I'm going to be continuing my random deck challenge on Magic the Gathering 2013. I've got to say I'm absolutely enjoying that. It is an absolute blast. My last couple of videos I've lost absolutely terribly, and oh god, I'm actually quite stuck at the moment. So let's just hope we can get better, eh? But yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun, and I hope you're all enjoying it. I'm really sorry for episodes, I think it's 6 through 10. The audio quality on that is rather quiet. I might have mentioned this in one of my other videos, but my mic wasn't synced very well, so it only picked up a really small amount of what I was saying. This was a problem because when I tried to use my editor to heighten the decibels up, and it made a really bad ringing sound in the background constantly, so I had to leave it as it was. So I'm really sorry about that, but you know, you can still hear me just about. You know, you can still hear how boring I am. You know, that's fine, I don't mind. DayZ, I was starting a little survival guide for all the new newbies that had started playing it. A lot of people have been playing it since last week. I think we had over 70,000 join the mod, which is pretty good for especially for an alpha stage. But a lot of people need to start treating it like alpha and not a proper game. The problem I'm having with that at the moment is that while I was doing that survival guide, there was an attack on the servers via hackers, which is expected since it's open beta. And a lot of stuff just went down, and I haven't been able to get onto a server for nearly 2 or 3 days. So I'm hoping to carry that on, but it's not looking very good at the moment. So we'll see. I'm not planning to do anything else yet. I might try and I might sort out a Towns playthrough. Actually, I'm really liking Towns. That's also in is it in alpha or beta? I think it's in alpha, but that's a really cracking game as well. I did notice the Yogscast Sips. He's been had a couple of playthroughs through there, and yeah, it's actually a really fun game. It's like a mix between, oh, I don't know, a mix between like dungeon. It's dungeon based, but it's got a bit of a dwarf fortress feel to it, but it's more simplified and more automated. But it's still good. It's still good, especially for the people who've created it. You know, I think this is their first project, and it's really good. So I'll hopefully get some video content on that as well. And as you see, I've been playing a lot of League of Legends as well. I haven't really got much content for this because I'm still practicing, actually. I haven't played this for quite a while, and I'm rather terrible at it. I never said I was the best gamer, but you know. But I'm enjoying it, and it's a lot of fun still. So I might bring you some content on that. And I think that much covers it, guys. So I will see you later.